Hi everyone and welcome to this edition of Hamilton City Vision. I'm Mark Murray. You know, the vitality of any city can often be measured by how active its citizens are in the activities of the area. Joining me in the studio today is an individual uniquely qualified to discuss this issue. She's the City of Hamilton's Program Coordinator for Volunteers, Karen Whitmer. Karen, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
All right, let's tell our viewers a little bit about you. I understand you started with the city this year.
I did. I started in November of
So what's your
2011. Actually, I was born and raised in Hamilton. After I was in the last graduating class of Taft High School, and after that I went on to Bowling Green, got my associate degree in business, and then I went on to, I came home and worked and went to school part-time and got my bachelor's at Miami. But I actually worked in downtown. I worked at Ohio Casualty and Elder Beerman at the same time,
Okay.
So had some experience.
Both of them are gone.
Yes,
so,
I
yeah.
know. It's sad, but it was just a pleasure, you know, being here and working in downtown. And then after that, I worked for the City of Oxford actually for 5 years. And then I went on to work for an IT consulting firm, and I managed IT professionals for a couple of years and worked there. And then I went on to the City of Fairfield. So I got the opportunity to get into volunteer management. So I was at the city for 9 years there. And then I got an opportunity to come back and work for my hometown, which I'm very honored to do. So here I am now, and
in a full-time position.
In a full-time position.
Very cool.
Yes,
very cool.
Yes.
Now, what can you tell us about the volunteer program?
Well, we started it, like I said, in November of 2011. The first thing we did is we put together a volunteer application. One of my coworkers in economic development had started and put that together, and we tweaked it and we put that out there, and we also acquired volunteer insurance for our volunteer program.
Oh, okay.
So we got all of that together, and then I just started going out and going to all kinds of different meetings, some of the volunteer groups here in Hamilton, Rotary, Kiwanis, and just reaching out and letting people know about the program.
Well,
So-
how many, in terms of numbers, how many volunteers are currently in the program?
Well, right now we have about 19 volunteers at our Welcome Center. We have 2 to 3 volunteers that have been working in our city offices from time to time. We also have Adopt a Roadway and Adopt a Park programs. The Adopt a Park is the main one that we rolled out right away, and we have about 10 entities that are adopting a park and going out there and helping keeping Hamilton beautiful, and so we got a lot going on.
Well, when we were talking before the show, you mentioned some of the volunteer groups. I understand there's quite a few.
I think there's about 30 plus in Hamilton, so I've tried to reach out to all of them, trying to find a way to bring all of them together. I'm a volunteer coordinator for the city, of course, but I'm also helping other groups get volunteers, and they've reached out to me, and I'm trying to help, you know, all the groups in Hamilton.
For example,
work
name
together.
some names.
We have like the Hamilton Garden Club, we have Historic Hamilton, the City of Sculpture Committee, Visitors Bureau Committee. So there are very, very many wonderful volunteers here in Hamilton that have been working for many years to help keep Hamilton beautiful and just keep, you know, Hamilton going, and you know, lots of good things are happening. So
Well, let's talk about some good things. There's some special events coming up that probably need volunteers, no doubt.
yes.
Tell us about some of those.
Well, we are always looking for volunteers for special events. We have a lot going on in Hamilton. We've added some new things. There's been things that have always been ongoing. We have River Days coming up September 8th and 9th, and that's usually about the same time every year. We're always looking for volunteers for those things. Rock the Block happens every year at Bailey Square in the September time frame. We have the big new event this year, first in Hamilton for a long time, is Operation Pumpkin.
And we're going to be talking about that in the next segment.
Yes, and so that's coming up the first weekend of October, October 5th, 6th, and 7th. Need lots of volunteers to make that happen, closing down High Street, so we're really excited about that.
Yeah.
And then we have some other things coming up. We have a duathlon, a River's Edge Wheel and Heel duathlon. We're looking for a lot of volunteers. We're going to have runners throughout here in Hamilton and cyclists. So we need a lot of volunteers to help make that happen. And the Double Dam Regatta is coming up. It's going to be the same day, October 20th of this year. And usually that'll happen also every year in the October time frame. But just need a lot of volunteers to make these events, pull them off, and just make things happen here in the city. So.
Now, how can people find out about all these programs?
Well, they can go to our city website, so hamilton-city.org. They can call my office, 844-8050.
Okay.
We have a Facebook page. They can find out about volunteer opportunities. There's many ways that people can check it out and find out where we're at. And I'm housed in the Hamilton Welcome Center, so they can come to the Hamilton Welcome Center and find me there. And we have volunteer applications they can fill out. They can just find out all kinds of things about the volunteerism in Hamilton.
Well, what are your goals as you continue in this position in the city?
My goals are to increase awareness about volunteerism, constantly get out there and meet with all of these different groups and help them get volunteers and just increase the awareness and let people know more about the program, opportunities such as your program, and just we've been just trying to get the word out as much as we can through advertising and, like I say, social media, just anything that we can do to just get the word out there that volunteerism is here in Hamilton. It's always been around, but just having the program with the city, I think it just increases awareness and just helps people know. There's a lot of people that are retired individuals that like to get involved. I think it just makes people feel good, and it's just a great thing, So.
Well, I want to give you the opportunity to express any final thoughts, and if you want to, why don't you take a look at that camera right over there
and all right.
Talk to our viewers.
Okay, I just want to encourage people to volunteer. It's just a great thing. It makes you feel good. It gets you out in the community. It helps, you meet other people, and I think it's just a great thing. Hamilton is always looking for more volunteers. We can never have enough. Like I said, we have so many great people now that are volunteering, and I just would like to encourage all ages, just encourage people to volunteer. So
get involved.
Get involved.
Absolutely.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, Karen, thanks for being here.
Well, thank you so much.
All right.
I appreciate it, Mark.
And coming right up, we're going to talk about Operation Pumpkin. We'll be right back. Hi everyone, we're back, and with me are Tammy Snyder, Lindsay Albrink, and Alfred Hall, and they are here to tell you about an upcoming event, Operation Pumpkin. Thanks for being here, everybody.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
All right, well, let's start with this. How did you all get involved? Tammy?
My husband actually started this. He moved down here for his job. The company he works for, Kuhn Restoration, is doing a lot of the restoration work downtown.
They did the Mercantile Lofts. Excuse me, just a second. Jason's no stranger to this show. In fact, in August 2010, regular viewers might recall he took us on a tour of the Mercantile Lofts when it was really just nothing but a shell at that point. And now it's finished, and it looks beautiful. But anyway, I just thought I'd mention that, to get a little plug in for Jason.
Thank you. But anyway, it was a great opportunity to get involved with the community and help give back and meet people, and it's been fantastic. So,
Lindsay, what about you?
I was actually invited in by Alfred with Hamilton Urban Garden Systems, and while I was in our first couple meetings, I realized that YMCA Camp Camel Guard runs a very similar pumpkin festival. So we decided to combine forces, bring ours downtown, and see what happens.
Oh, great. Alfred, you?
Well, those historic lofts you talked about, I actually live in, and they are beautiful. We've lived there for 2 years, and when I first started going down looking at the lofts, I met Jason, and he talked a lot about Operation Pumpkin and his dealings with growing giant pumpkins and pumpkin festivals. And this year he mentioned it again, and I says, well, I'll help you. Hugs will help you do it. So I saw an opportunity to help build community and help bring a event downtown to showcase all that we have. So I figured it would make a sense for us to get involved, so we did.
All right. Well, Tammy, I understand the event actually has a history that goes back to 1950, and I don't think many people are even aware of that. So what can you tell our viewers about that?
Surprisingly, we have had a lot of people get in contact with us to tell us their stories, but Operation Pumpkin began in the 1950s. It was started by Hamilton native and visionary Jim Grimm. Jim started Operation Pumpkin as a way for school children to have a safe and fun Halloween. There were parties that were at local schools and churches. The children would have to register, and then once the party was over, they'd race home, sit by the phone, and hope that their name was drawn to win one of hundreds of prizes that were donated by local businesses. And then local firemen would take their time on their days off and deliver these prizes to the children. You can imagine back in the 1950s, that winning a bicycle or a TV was a very, very big deal.
Huge. Yes.
And it was a very, just a graciously generous, very interesting way, I guess, to celebrate the season.
Sure.
Our intentions then were to honor that tradition, but to bring the event downtown for more of a family-oriented festival, as well as showcase the city, the rich history, and all the growth and development that are going on here.
All right. Now, obviously, it's a little different from the way it was back in the 50s. So, and I know you've all got your own involvement here with the different activities. So, can you tell us a little bit about what's planned, where some of these events are going to be going on?
Well, I'll give you just a highlight, and then Alfred and Lindsay can touch on some separate things, but the weekend will be filled with the farmers market, which is going to be through the whole weekend. Normally it's there on Saturdays, but they're staying throughout the weekend. The YMCA's Camp Campbell Guard will have some events there. We have a giant pumpkin weigh-off that'll kick events off on Friday evening.
Okay.
Giant pumpkin weigh-off.
All right.
We have live entertainment throughout the entire weekend, both local as well as the Ohio Metropolitan Pops Orchestra will be playing, with American Idol finalist Eben Frankowitz will be there. We're very proud about that. We have a wine garden that'll showcase several Ohio wineries located at Journal Square, and it will also have its own separate acoustic entertainment, so it'll have its own environment. We have a beer garden that's going to feature local microbrews. And that's next to the main stage. We have a pumpkin carving contest, a 5K, many other events.
Just sounds
planned.
like a lot for a weekend.
Yes. A complete listing will be found on the website, which is operationpumpkin.org, and it's
Okay.
being updated regularly. But
Yeah, we might want to mention that a couple times throughout this little segment.
operationpumpkin.org.
There you go.
And then the festival itself will take place in downtown Hamilton, obviously on High Street from North Monument to MLK, and some of the side streets. Friday, traffic will be open, I'd like to say, but after business hours on Friday, it will be closed down for the weekend. So.
Wow. Okay. Well, Lindsay, she mentioned something about some events at the Y. Mm-hmm. What's going on there?
Camp Campbell Guard's going to bring in some traditional camp activities. The Market Street area is going to be more of the kids center of the festival. So there'll be some rides there, some games there, and then we're going to bring archery, pumpkin, we'll have a pumpkin patch, we'll have pumpkin painting, we'll have face painting, we'll have candle making, a pumpkin obstacle course, and just some of the traditional activities that you get at camp.
And what about the age group? I mean, you mentioned kids, but what's the age group, do you think?
Anywhere. I mean, we have real young kids. We have enough activities that any age can really participate.
Okay.
And then the rest of the kind of the kids section, there'll be anything for, I guess, up to teenagers, even in that area, young, 13, 14.
Yes, I forgot to mention there'll be amusement rides as well.
Yes.
Okay.
So we just have a whole span. People of all ages are going to have some activity to enjoy at this festival.
Great. Alfred?
Well, I actually manage the historic Hamilton Farmers Market downtown, and some of our market vendors will be there for the weekend, which is great for the market, great for the vendors, and great for the city to see the local produce. If you make it, bake it, or grow it, you're in our market, and it'll be a great way for them to showcase what they're doing. Some of the other things is that I am interested in seeing is we have a magician who's going to light himself on fire. They're going to put him in a straitjacket, put him in a box, chain him up, and he's going to get lit on fire. He has 3 minutes to get out. He's done it before, and he's insured. So it should be all right. We have a great diversity of local talent. We have Polynesian dancers. We have local dancers and groups from Partners in Prime. We have very young and very accomplished singers. We have dance troupes. We have DJs. It's just going to be a high school
ensembles.
It's just going to be for every age that you could imagine. There will be something going on during the weekend, and most of it, if not all of it, is free. So bring your family down, find a place to park. There'll be plenty of parking, and enjoy the weekend.
All right. Well, now I know as far as, now you mentioned a lot of the events are free, but I know that there is going to be some money raised from this event. Where is the money going? I know there's some very specific beneficiaries of these funds. So who can speak to that?
I'll touch a little bit. The 5K is sort of its own separate entity. The proceeds from that, which are the registration fees and any donations that they accept, will go to Baden High School scholarships.
Oh, okay.
And I believe there are at least 2 of them that they will go towards. The Elaine McCahey and Eileen Malone are the 2 scholarships for Baden High School.
Okay.
The festival itself, proceeds, a portion of them, majority of them will go to the YMCA youth programs. A portion will go to HUGS, which is the Hamilton Urban Garden Systems, and a portion will also go to the Butler County Courthouse, which is on the National Historic Registry and
Right.
in, I'd say not desperate, but very badly in need of restoration.
Okay. All right. Well, that's pretty ambitious. Now, are there still sponsorship and vending opportunities available?
Yes, sponsorships, food vendors, art vendors, volunteers are needed. Our sponsorships and volunteers will take right up to the event date. As far as vendors, the cutoff, we ask that everybody registers by,
It was the end of September.
yeah.
Okay. All right. So there's still time. Now, again, we mentioned the website, but how does someone get in contact with the organization if they want to get involved?
There are a few ways. Obviously, the website, operationpumpkin.org, has all the contact information. All the applications can also be found and printed off the website. Phone numbers, there are several phone numbers that are listed on the website, but the actual Operation Pumpkin phone line is 513-635-7776.
Okay. Now, I give all of my guests an opportunity. Of course, I don't have 3 guests on very often, but Tammy, do you want to leave our viewers with any final thoughts?
Well, mostly I just hope that everybody comes down and joins us and has a fantastic time and makes this a huge success so we can have it every year.
Absolutely. Sounds like a lot of fun. Well, thank you all for being here. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. And I want to thank you at home for watching TV Hamilton, hometown television with a personal touch. From all of us here at CityVision, I'm Mark Murray. Thanks for watching.